raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Thank you very much.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Ms. Findley. I guess before we get started, I want you to talk a little bit about Bo, so that the jury kind of knows a little bit about this man. Let's talk a little bit about you. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury a little bit about yourself.
I am a project coordinator for a health insurance company in New York. I'm a mother of 3 boys and a member of the Church of Christ.
And who is Botham Jean to you?
Botham was my little brother. He's 9 years younger than me. He was my friend. He was my person.
Did you guys always have a very close relationship, or was that something that happened later in life?
I would say we've always had a close relationship because we were raised as a close family. So we were always in contact. We've always maintained a friendship to the point where we were like best friends.
How often did you talk to Bo?
I spoke to him almost every day, either by telephone or text message. We always had contact every day.
And I want to take this moment for you to show the jury and tell the jury about his family, his mom. What's his mom's name?
Allison Shaw.
Would you stand up, please? And Bo's dad?
Bertram Shaw.
Bertram. And Brant is his younger brother?
Brant Shaw.
Okay. And that's Bo's grandma, right?
Gloria Charles, yes.
Okay. What kind of, y'all can have a seat, thank you so much. Tell me about the family dynamic. Where did y'all grow up? What was Bo's kind of relationship as, I guess, like a middle-ish child? Tell us a little bit about that.
We grew up in St. Lucia. It's a Caribbean island. Growing up, Botham was always very active. I would say he was a little adventurous. One time, he was at the house and he decided to get on our dog and have the dog run around the house with him like a horse, and he loved it. I was in a panic, but that was the type of person he was. When he started high school, he started a choir. At the high school, he also started song leading at our church, Church of Christ, and he fell in love with music. He even wrote songs, church songs. We found 4 songs that he wrote, all about Christ and wanting to get to heaven.
Did Bo have a very close personal relationship with God?
He did.
In his life?
Yes, we grew up in the church. From the womb, we've always been going to church.
How is it that you and Bo, both being from St. Lucia, how did you guys end up here in the States?
I moved when I was 19 to go to school. He took the same path where he applied for Harding University and got accepted and transitioned to America as well.
Okay. So it was an educational opportunity that brought him to this country, is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Now, I guess without any further ado, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Alissa, I want to show you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit Number 1. Can you tell me who this is in this photograph?
That's Botham.
Okay. And can you tell me when this photograph was taken? Do you know?
I know it was taken at Harding University outside the Rock House. I would say maybe 2014.
Okay. And does this fairly inaccurately depict your brother Bo?
Yes.
I offer States 1. No objection.
It's admitted.
Permission to publish. Bo's got a big smile on his face. Is that uncommon?
No.
Tell me about Bo. Tell me about his, I guess, his demeanor. You know, we have people that we walk through life with that are always serious. We have some angry people. We have happy people. Where did Bo fit on the spectrum?
He was always a happy person. He loved having fun. He was a fun-loving person. Always saw the greener side of everything.
Is So you said that he was accepted to Harding University. What kind of academic discipline was he interested in?
He graduated with a double major in accounting and management information systems.
And then give us an idea of how his education and then his future career opportunities, how did that kind of unfold for him?
He got accepted to an internship with PwC while he was at Harding here in Dallas. When he came out here, they put him up in a hotel and he called and FaceTime. He was so excited just to have the opportunity. Then when he got accepted into the internship, he called crying. He was so over the moon. And from that internship, he got hired as an accountant for PwC.
And what is PwC?
PricewaterhouseCoopers is an accounting firm.
Okay. This must have been quite an honor for him. It's a very prestigious firm.
It is, yes.
Was he excited about where his life was going, not only in the church, but also in his career?
Yes, he was very excited. I tried to convince him to move to New York with me, even with PwC, because they're out there as well. But he had a career path in mind, and he wanted to get to a senior level before he transitioned to any other place.
Okay, you wanted him to be close to you.
I did, yes. Because he was my baby brother. I'm a little overprotective of my siblings and my children, so I wanted him close.
And that was that his long-term goal, was to get up there close to you as well?
Not really.
That was more what you wanted.
Right, it was my long-term goal for him, yeah.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about the events on September 6th. Did you talk to Bo on September the 6th?
I did, I spoke with him.
What was his general mood? I mean, the rules of evidence, unfortunately, they don't allow you to talk about statements that were made outside of a courtroom. Okay, so I can't ask you what you guys talked about or what he said.
Okay.
But I want you to tell me, what was his general mood?
He was happy. Can I tell you why?
Well, only if you know from independent reasons. You can't. Let me ask you this: was Bo's birthday coming up soon?
Yes, his birthday was coming up, and he was very excited about that. We went back and forth about presents for about a month. So our conversation was in part about his present for his birthday.
Okay. Well, what was it you were planning on getting Bo for his birthday?
Well, I decided, and prior we had a conversation, that I would give him pots and pans because he had only 2 in his apartment. So I wanted to get him a full set because it's the grown-up thing to do. So he agreed. But when I spoke to him that day, he said he wanted Drake tickets because apparently Drake was in concert at some point. So I told him, well, I thought we agreed that you were going to be a grown-up this year. And he said, okay, fine, yes, get me the pots and pans. So we agreed on that.
You agreed on that?
Yes.
I see. So the pots and pans weren't a huge hit with him initially?
No.
I do want to talk with you about something a little bit more serious now. I think that you were made aware that after Bo had been shot, when the police were in his home, they found a baggie of marijuana.
Right.
Were you aware that Bo smoked marijuana?
I was aware.
Can you give the jury an idea why you believe he would partake in marijuana?
While he was at Harding, he was diagnosed with ADHD, and he was prescribed Adderall. And he started taking the Adderall, but he always complained he didn't like how it made him feel. Like, one, he couldn't sleep while he was on Adderall. And then for him to sleep, he would have to stop taking it completely. And then he described it as crashing when he stopped taking it. So it was always back and forth with it. So he stopped taking it completely. And that's when he started smoking.
And listen, I'm not a judge. Right, wrong, or indifferent, this is the reason why he chose to smoke marijuana.
Right.
Was it anything evil on his part, or was this the way in which he felt he medicated himself so that he could cope?
That was his coping.
Okay. So I want to ask you this. Did Bo ever manifest any weird reactions to marijuana, or was it kind of like the typical effect of a person smoking marijuana? I mean, did he turn into a crazy lunatic?
No, he would be mellow. Same both of them, just laughing more, but nothing extraordinary.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about that particular day a little bit more. Do you know what Bo's plans were for that particular evening?
We spoke about, I asked him if he would be watching the football game because it was the first game of the season, the NFL season, and he thought the season already started, so he was excited that he didn't miss it because he had a fantasy football league, so it was crucial that he watched the games. So his plan was to stay home and watch that game that night.
Did he, do you know whether or not he had any other plans? I mean, did he have a girlfriend that was staying over or anything like that?
He did not mention that.
Okay. Do you know, was Bo in any kind of a significant relationship at the time?
He started seeing Cynthia, I think her name is, a few weeks before. It wasn't anything serious. It didn't get to that point as yet, and I just know he started seeing a few weeks before.
When did you find out what had happened to Bo?
I received a call from Baylor University Hospital. It was about a little after midnight on the 7th. New York is an hour ahead, so it was after midnight from my time. I received a call from a social worker, and she asked me a few questions. Do I know Botham Ja? What is his date of birth? What is his address? Where does he work? And then she told me that he was brought in with a gunshot wound, and he succumbed to his injuries.
Help us understand how does a person process that?
At first, I didn't believe it because it was just not anything that I would expect. When I got the call, I thought maybe it was a car accident. So I wasn't expecting to hear that he was shot. I know I just immediately became cold. It just didn't make sense to me.
How long did it take you before you finally accepted the reality that Bo was gone?
Honestly, I don't think I've accepted it as yet. I think it will still take time. Sometimes I have still called his number because he's still in my favorites on my phone. So I've called sometimes just to see if he will answer. So I haven't accepted it as yet.
Do you still miss him?
I miss him every single day. Being in Dallas is hard that he's not here. So I miss him.
Did you come to Dallas looking for some answers?
I did. I came also looking for closure because I think having this hurdle, just getting over this hurdle will probably lead to healing. So I'm hoping for that this portion to be finally over and done with so my entire family can heal.
Who had to tell Allison and Bertram about that?
I did.
Tell me how that went.
I really, when I hung up the phone with the hospital, my first thought was to not tell them because I wanted, especially my mother, to have just one more good night of sleep before getting the news. But I decided against it, and she was at my house in New York at the time. So I went and I just repeated the words the social worker told me.
I imagine that must have been heart-wrenching for them.
It was, my mom immediately started crying, like just bust out in tears. She started dialing the number for Bertram and the words just couldn't come out. So I took the phone from her and told him again, just repeated the words. I called my aunt same thing. I just repeated the words because I didn't at the time process the words. So I was just repeating it to them.
I wanted to ask you another question about the police investigation inside Bo's apartment. They found a series of 3 medications, an anti-nausea, I think an anti-inflammatory, and a pain medication. Had Bo had any kind of surgical or dental work recently?
Yes, he had a wisdom tooth removed. He was on the plan to have all 4 removed, but they were doing it one at a time. So he had the first one removed a few weeks before that.
And has that been kind of a painful process for him?
It was. I know a few days after it happened, the tooth was pulled, he stayed home. He was on a strict liquid diet, soups, hot food. So he was eating soups every day. He even took a picture of the Chick-fil-A soup and sent it to me. And that day, September 6th, he finally got the okay to eat ice cream.
Was that good progress for Bo?
Yes, he was very excited about eating ice cream because he loves ice cream. He loved ice cream. Even as a child, we used to call him Milky Way because he just loved eating ice cream. Anything milky, he's all for it.
So September the 6th, 2018 was the day, obviously, that Bo got shot. Did you meet with a Texas Ranger on Saturday, September the 8th, 2018?
I did.
Okay. And again, I can't ask you to go over the question and answers, but I want to ask you this question. You were aware that the Texas Rangers had just started the investigation into this particular case, is that right?
Yes.
Was your impression, having talked to the Texas Rangers right after they started this investigation, that they were going to give a fair investigation to Bo?
I did not.
Object to relevance, Judge.
Sustained.
I'll ask the witness.
I have no questions.
Is she excused?
Oh, Judge, actually, may I recall, Ms. Findley, I had one other matter I wanted to show her. May I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Alissa, I'm sorry I forgot about this.
Judge, we'll stipulate that the autopsy photo is the same as the same individual that's in State's Exhibit number 1. Just will offer that stipulation.
And we'll offer State's Exhibit 2 for all purposes.
Thank you. It's admitted for all purposes.
I have no other questions.
No.
Ms. Findley,
Nothing further, Judge.
may she be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Earlier, you said that you may have some objections to her remaining in the courtroom. Do you still have any objections to
I don't
this?
see any factual, I don't see any basis for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Findley. You may rejoin your thing.